Welcome to Source Not Found, a show about the worst versions of your favorite things. Every other week, we take an IP, franchise, or fandom and examine it solely through its sequels, spin-offs, and side projects, basically anything but the source material. My name is Beau Woodall, and I am a randomly added original character who is a male because there are far too many women in this movie.
And I'm Sean Bean, and one does not simply walk out of Silent Hill.
That's pretty good.
I like that we both were Sean Bean in our intro. I'm actually not Sean Bean. I'm Brandon June. But I also don't belong here. Because fuck this movie.
God, dude.
Fuck this movie. Oh my God. We gotta...
You did this to us. You did this to us.
Yeah, I did. I remembered kind of liking it.
You're wrong.
I was wrong. I was a dumb little idiot teenager. I was wrong.
So, okay. So, giving everybody a little bit of heads up here, we're covering the Silent Hill movie from 2006.
Yes.
So, because we're doing a movie, let me do our numbers, you know.
Mm-hmm,
Jesus. Sorry, hiccuping is bad. Silent Hill was released April 21, 2006. The budget was $50 million, which, oh my God, where was that money? Domestic gross...
You didn't see those effects? You didn't see the special effects?
That
I saw?
There was nothing special about those effects. Domestic gross $47 million, which isn't bad, you know, but worldwide gross $100.6 million. So, I mean, not a big hit, but not bad. Box office wise, the week it came out, it was number one.
Okay.
Number two was Scary Movie 4. Number 3 was The Sentinel. Number 4 was Ice Age: The Meltdown. And number 5 was The Wild.
Okay, so yeah, just sort of one by default.
Basically, yeah.
I think I'm still going to see Silent Hill. There's like one or two jokes in Scary Movie 4? No, I don't know. Wait, Scary Movie 3? Is that Signs? Is that the one that was...
Yeah.
Or is that 4? I don't think I saw 4.
I don't know if I saw 4 either.
Okay.
But that's kind of what we're looking at.
You went and saw Silent Hill. Yeah, that's what we're looking at. I think I saw it in the theater. I'm pretty sure.
I did not.
I was a fan, you know? And I think that's why, you know, I was younger. There was less in terms of video game adaptations. There was less out there, and particularly good ones, right?
Right.
Like, it was a rough ride there for a while. Like, we have our beloved 1995 Mortal Kombat. Like, we cherish you. And I kind of cherish that Super Mario Brothers movie, the original. It's weird. It's weird in a very fun way. But yeah, there's just not a lot of good stuff. And I was so disappointed by Resident Evil. You know, when I saw that for the first time, as such a massive fan of the games. And like, man, they got the zombies and Umbrella and like, but what else is here? And I think that's why I kind of felt positively about it. And until now, I've maintained this idea like, oh, it's in the top half of video game movie adaptations at the very least. Like, it's better than some of the worst offenders. Because I guess what I remembered is like, well, this was obviously made by fans of the game. And like, they so leaned into, like, they recreated scenes and sets and, you know, environments from the game and really pulled like very specific things. They rearranged it and mashed it up in a weird way, but I remember thinking, like, as a fan of the game, there's a lot here for me to enjoy. But man, coming back to it this time, it's a different world. I'm a little older, and like, Fuck this.
This was
Fuck this.
This was a rough watch, dude.
I think it's one of the worst movies we've covered.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's really, really bad. And even like everything I just mentioned, I don't know. I'm getting to a place where like, because of the most recent Mortal Kombat movie too, like I remember before I saw it, I read like an interview with the directors and like they were just gushing about their love for the source material. I was like, that's fun to see. Like you really care about these characters. And then I saw that movie and similarly, fuck this movie. So it's just not enough. It's a nice thing. It makes you feel, you know, warm and fuzzy on a certain level. Like, oh, they're fans. They actually wanted to make this. Like, you might have this in your trivia, but this is the one I do know. Like Christophe Gans, the director, so loved Silent Hill that like he pitched Konami. He was trying to make this movie for like 5 years.
Yeah.
And like he approached them to let him make it. And that's sweet. And again, we'll get into some of the things that like showcase his love of the source material. But man, his movie was dog shit. But I really want to know, like, so you don't have any context.
No, not any
like,
at
I
all.
have some context. Like, this is using a lot of, like, narratively, it's doing a lot, pulling a lot from Silent Hill, the first game, with the cult and Alessa and Dahlia, and there's a lot there, but then it's pulling all this stuff from 2, and then even some ideas from 3, and just, like, blending it all together. It's a mess, but I can understand the mess. But did you understand the mess?
No, not even a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. Like, okay, so in your experience, like, what was this movie about to you? Did you get what it was going for narratively?
Kind of. It. No, not really. I mean, it seems like there was a pointed kind of like approach to what is reality and what is this kind of internal or external not fantasy world, but like horrific world, where you have like our reality versus the foggy world, other world. Like I don't, and it just like I kind of get it, but I really don't get it.
That's fair. It's hard to get because it's trying to do so much at once, right? And it's just like I said, it's just a mess.
Yeah,
you know, and it's trying to.
It's a lot.
It's trying to mostly adapt one game, but like then throw in all these other games, and then also tie it to the real world. So one thing that when I went and saw the movie that increased my anticipation and excitement of it, for a while there with some friends, I was into like urban exploration and seeking out abandoned places. And one of the places we went when we were in high school was Centralia, Pennsylvania. And I don't know if you know this place.
All I know is this is what the movie was kind of based on.
Yeah. So there was it's in the 60s. The accounts kind of differ, but there was maybe some smoldering something dumped by a dump site, or like they lit, like the volunteer firefighters lit the trash heap on fire or whatever. Somehow the flames, the embers got into the coal mines all underneath this town of Centralia, Pennsylvania, this kind of coal mining town, or at least like they had all these kind of this network of mines underneath, and it lit all the coal on fire. And as you might imagine, you can't just put out this endless network of coal fires. So it's going to be burning for like a couple hundred years. And they had to basically just like evacuate most of the town. Like when we went up there, it was pretty neat. Like there was a church that was in service and like a couple other extant buildings, but it was mostly just nothing. And you could you had to park and walk through, like it was partitioned off, but they had this stretch of old highway that was all like, It felt like post-apocalyptic. Just like this twist and turn of like cratered, cracking asphalt with this coal smoke billowing up
Right.
from
Yeah.
these massive crevices. It was pretty neat. So I had that experience in my life. And then, you know, as I was getting hyped for the movie, like, oh my God, they like tied it to the real world. They did this Centralia, Pennsylvania thing. They said it in West Virginia, I think. But yeah, real world ties. Like, it's just trying to do too much. It's really, and it's long, man. It's like over 2 hours, and you feel
You
the
really
length.
do. Yeah.
And I think that's the crime of this movie, honestly. Ultimately, as a fan, even though I appreciate that it comes from a place of experience and knowledge and love of the characters, and they show off some environments and creatures that I recognize, it's soulless, it's empty, it's hollow, it doesn't mean anything. They're just like, they're trucking that pyramid head like it's a fucking like anime series intro, and we're just like, here are the villains on screen, like, you know,
Yeah.
stomping by. You'll meet them later, and they'll mean something then. They don't mean anything now, and then just it never means anything really. Like, they try to make it mean something, but ultimately, man, it's just boring. It's just fucking dull, and it's not scary, and it gets so bogged down with trying to explain its convoluted story to you and all of the mysteries of this ultimately very kind of uninteresting puzzle. Like, it would be interesting if it were in service of something better, but it's not. And then we are also just like constantly pivoting over to Sean Bean, just also detecting and like snooping around and breaking and entering. And man, it's a really, really bad movie.
It's a mess. It's a mess from top to bottom, man.
Yeah. And I think it's not a mess in a very fun way. Like, I don't really have a whole lot of stuff to talk about with it because most of it is just so kind of just dull, you know? It's not, like I mentioned Resident Evil, you can get some friends together, put on those Paul Anderson Resident Evil movies, and have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if you're a fan of the games, you're going to be disappointed. Like, yeah, this is not the same experience, but if you just want some dumb fun, you can find it. And there's not a lot of dumb fun here.
No, it's just sad.
Really. Yeah. I thought it was kind of fun, like one of the initial scenes when it's just when it's just Rose and Sharon, they're like cuddling at the tree. It's right before that she walks up like, honey, what are you drawing? Like, this is an amazing lion. Did you do that all by yourself? And then the child just goes, meow, meow. I was like, oh, that's not what lions do. Sweetie, lions don't meow.
No, they don't.
We have other issues. It's not just you screaming Silent Hill in a very poor performance in the middle of the night while sleepwalking. We have other deeper issues about comprehension here.
I'm gonna be honest, man. This was a struggle.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a whole lot to say about this movie outside of the trivia I was able to pull, and it's just a big nothing.
Yeah, I think ultimately, like, what are we left with as we follow Rose around? So we do have like the Silent Hill 1 kind of, we have our car crash at like the city limits for the dumbest reason possible. I still don't understand. It's kind of funny to me because like she gets pulled over, Rose and Sharon, as they're driving to Silent Hill. So like, child has been sleepwalking, screaming Silent Hill in the middle of the night while sleepwalking. Mom and dad are like, we don't know what to do. Mom thinks we should just go to this place, Silent Hill. So she takes off. Revealing a very toxic relationship with her husband, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Like, doesn't communicate what she's doing, which, yeah, he doesn't want her to do it. And the way he responds is like, she goes to get gas and like her card is declined. Like, oh, as soon as he realized his wife and daughter were missing, he just cut off all the credit cards.
Yeah.
Like, this is pretty toxic. And then like they get pulled over with good reason, you find out, because the cop that pulls them over is like, oh, in the last couple of years, like somebody abducted a child and dropped the kid into like a was it a mine shaft or something in town. So pulls him over, but Rose, in just a brilliant bit of like, in just a brilliant response to that, just like floors it, just drives off onto this rain-slickened bridge, and they spin out and crash. She wakes up. She's in a very foggy, like ash, like drizzling ash version of the town of Silent Hill. Cue monsters, cue air raid sirens, cue descent into nightmarish hell world, cue giant pyramid head swinging a giant blade around. Some very, very, especially in 2025, poorly rendered CG monstrosities. And yeah, just learning more about this town and like the cult that exists there, and this poor little girl that was just like born out of wedlock, and so the whole town like shuns her, and then the janitor abuses her, and then she is made to pay the price for that. Like, she is the victim, but she is like immolated in this cult ritual. And her mother and like the help that she's tried to gather, and the law enforcement and all that, like they just show up too late, and the very angry, vengeful spirit of this girl like splits. And one version was like the happy little innocent like part of her that was kind of born into the real world and adopted by our protagonist, and the rest is like this vengeful spirit within Silent Hill. And we just sort of run around town for 2 hours, chasing this little girl and learning more about the town. But like it just kind of culminates with this very like kind of gleefully nihilistic display of gore and violence, with like barbed wire, like shooting into, like you have the cult leader, and like they kind of do the Evil Dead thing.
Yeah.
Where like the barbed wire pulls her legs apart, and then you kind of pan down to her ankle area, and you see the barbed wire, like the sharp barbs, like ascend up into, where those are going, and just like a spray of blood, and then her body's ripped apart, and it's nasty, and not for any particular purpose, just for, I think, shock value. We see Sybil, our cop character, roast alive as she's like held over a pyre, and it feels nihilistic and like mean-spirited and gross in a way that, like, even as a lover of Silent Hill, the original source material, it doesn't, even though it's a lot of the same content. And I think it's because Silent Hill, ultimately, it really justifies the choice for this subject matter, because it's an exploration of our characters, like a psychological study in what drives them and the traumas they carry and their inability to deal with their actions in the real world, or whatever it is, depending on your protagonist. But there's a lot of depth there, and there's a lot of metaphorical substance to what creatures appear and in the way in which they appear. Like Pyramid Head has a meaning in Silent Hill 2. I don't want to get into it too much because we're going to cover 2 on our next episode, and you haven't played it. So I'm going to not say too much, but these creatures have meaning, and they are chosen deliberately. And to throw them all into a blender and just like serve them up to a random ass protagonist in this movie takes all of the meaning out. And then all you're left with is the visual design, which again, at times is good. Like some of the alleys and like the panning through like the sort of back street between the garages and like the parked cars in the fog, like this is pulled straight out of a neighborhood in Silent Hill. Descending down like the rusty, wet steps in like the first beginning of the journey as she's just arriving in Silent Hill. Like some of these camera angles, like they replicate the fixed camera angle and the sort of panning from a strange off-kilter angle above her. And like the way she's holding the lighter, like she looks like Heather, with the hair and everything. Man, it's like they got some things just so right, but it's a polished turd. It really is.
I really wanted to love this, and I couldn't. Like I was so excited about like jumping into what is Silent Hill.
Yeah.
And we haven't gotten into trivia corner or reviews or anything else yet, but I will say this. Based on this film alone, I don't think I would source this one.
Oh, yeah, no. It's hard to say. Like, I'm even trying to, I feel like I'm in the situation that you were in with The Mummy 3, right? Where I went to The Mummy 3. Like, I'd seen the first two Mummy movies, but I didn't have that. Like, it had been so long, and I didn't have that investment in the characters. So I could just treat it as, this is a bad movie. How do I feel just watching this bad movie with, like, no recent experience with the source material? So I had more fun than you did. And I think this episode, we have the inverse of that. Because I do care about these characters, and I do care about this source material. And that's why I'm so negative on it. But the fact that you're negative too, like, yeah, this is just a shit movie. There's really not a lot of redeeming qualities about it. Like I mentioned the visuals. And I think I'm trying to imagine, like, because there are some things I like. So I do like when we do have a more like practical effect. Like some of the monsters are well designed and very creepy and pulled out of the games. And again, they are now devoid of meaning. But man, going into the stall and seeing that like trussed up corpse with the barbed wire and like, like we find a clue, a little thing in its mouth, and like, oh, this is like video game kind of shit. Like you go into the stall, you open the door, you see some horrific thing, you investigate it, you get an item, you take this item over here to solve a puzzle, That was kind of fun. I like that. And then it coming to life and just like crawling around on the floor. It's creepy. And like I know they hired like professional dancers to be a lot of these creatures, and like the nurses look good. Like coming up on the nurses for the first time in the darkness, they look pretty fucking scary. I like that. And
so about the nurses, this wasn't part of my trivia corner that I have for later, but the reason they look so wild is they had them play their role in reverse. And then,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick. Okay. I didn't know that. That makes a lot of sense. That's what, David Lynch did with like Firewalk with Me.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I love that.
Yeah, it's really
That's
cool.
That's a fun factoid. That's why they look pretty good. They got that right. So I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about some of the aesthetic qualities to it, and also the music. Like they use the Akira Yamaoka music, like soundtrack, in this movie, and it's wonderful. I love the music of Silent Hill. So I'm trying to think, like, if I watched this movie and left the theater, like, oh, that was bad, but they had these definite, genuine strengths. I think I would be curious enough to maybe check out the video game, and I would probably assume, like, well, the game, maybe even if it's the same, like, bad story, by virtue of me exploring this nightmarish reality and doing some of these actions, maybe it would work better as a game. I would source it, but that's not really due to the merits of the movie so much, other than these very specific qualities that I'm talking about. Right. But that said, they're making a sequel. Christophe Gans is coming back next year. He's making another Silent Hill movie. And honestly, I heard that announced some time back, and part of me was like, you know what? Maybe it'll be good. Because I kind of remembered, kind of liking this one when I was younger. And I was kind of excited to see that news. And now, upon watching this, like, I'm not sourcing that shit.
Yeah, no, I'm out. I'm out.
I don't think I need to see that. I don't know. I can't imagine it's going to be better than this one, to be honest. I don't think I don't know what he's made in the interim, but man. Yeah, it's a hard movie to talk about because there's just not much there, And there's not a lot of fun things. Like, the most fun I had was laughing at the girl meowing as she imitated a lion. I got a chuckle out of when Sybil finally catches up with Rose after she's been running around town, and she puts her in cuffs, like, you're under arrest. And Rose says, what the hell for? And I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
You let a cop on a high-speed chase and, like, crash through a gate barricading this town, spun out, crashed your vehicle, abandoned it, like your daughter's missing. Like, what are you fucking expecting right now? And then just every time we cut to Sean Bean, and he's just sopping wet through the whole movie, like he's just drenched to the bone. They always got him out in the rain. He's driving the whole fucking length of West Virginia twice. At no point he stops to pick up like an umbrella. He's just always out in the rain. That poor guy. Like, what are you here for anyway? I did nothing.
I felt so bad for Sean Bean in this movie because, like, it was so...
We feel bad for Sean Bean in most movies, let's be
real. Was so obvious his shit was just tacked on.
Yeah, you can have all of the revelations of what went down in this town with the cult without his whole character. Like, that's what we're supposed to be doing. That is what our protagonist is essentially doing, is piecing together the events that led us here. And then it's like he's out in the real world doing the same thing. And every time we are pulled out of the reality of Silent Hill, we lose the atmosphere. We lose the momentum of the horror, right? Because we're going out into the real world and they're going through Silent Hill and it's just this normal ass abandoned town, you know, a little dusty, but like we're out in the sun, you know, and we just lose so much of what the tone that the movie is attempting to establish. And you might get away with it if we had a lot of momentum within that nightmarish reality, but the nightmare of Silent Hill is also so bogged down with just like long conversations with cultists and just like endlessly just wandering around. And again, a bunch of, when it does initiate action, it's so devoid of any meaningful context or meaning. It's just like our protagonist screaming and running from room to room, chased by some, you know, the latest in this lineup of villainous characters and creatures that just, it's just like trotting them out. Like, here, how about one of these? How about a nurse? How about a pyramid head? How about a little screaming, smoldering, bad CG, childish fucking monstrosity that looks like true dog shit? And I don't mean like dog shit like as a, like qualifying, like as a quality statement, like a literal turd.
Yeah,
a literal shiny
it's
CG
real,
turd.
It's real rough.
That someone lit on fire and left on your doorstep. Hey, okay, one other thing I liked, the flashback scenes. They have this like grainy 8mm style.
Yeah, really nice.
Like that's the kind of texture we need. Like this movie, even when they get the visuals right, there's like a sort of slick, you know, high production aspect to it, and all the CG. It just feels a little too smoothed over, too shiny.
Yeah.
Even when they are getting something right on screen. If we had that, like I imagine like a more experimental, wild film that took some risks like that, like film the whole thing in that. Maybe it doesn't have to be that grainy, but like, man, give it some actual traditional film texture.
Yeah.
Some crackle.
Agreed.
You know? And like make it feel, the thing I often come back to when you adapt a video game for the screen is what is gained. Because in a video game, you have the additional element of player interaction and choice and investment because they are the one controlling the action. And for horror, like you can't beat that, honestly, for investment, in my opinion. If I am in control of the action, I will feel the stress. I will feel the focalization through this protagonist, player character, more so than any movie or book could ever do because of the level of interaction, right?
Control.
And specifically with horror, like I have control. I feel stress. I have to perform. I have to open that door and wander down the dark hallway with only my flashlight. And if something jumps out, it is attacking me. Like I'm dealing with that. You know, I'm not passively watching someone else. So by adapting this for the film medium, like you lose that. What do you gain? In this situation, you gain nothing. If you made some stylistic choices to lean into it as a movie and, I don't know, give me some textures and like tell the story in a way that the medium of cinema excels in, that maybe a game that's more bogged down in gameplay or trying to pad it out with ways to gamify things for the player doesn't, like, you wouldn't have to do that, and you could streamline the story and go some different places, and in the places where realism could maybe, I don't know, positively impact the way the story is told in terms of like a character level. I even say that like part of what kind of makes it compelling to me is the sort of alienating, understated, you might say like wooden, in a video gaming way, acting in some of those games, where like the lack of like traditional good acting, you know, and more emotive qualities kind of enhances the atmosphere, because it isn't ultimately like an alienating experience. I don't know. But anyway, there's like things that you could have done with this movie to make it something, and they just didn't, you know? They really did just like get the visuals and try and just fill in the rest. And what is really wild to me is this movie was written by fucking Roger Avery. Roger Avery.
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Like Tarantino together working on like, what is that? Like True Romance, Reservoir Dogs, like his adaptation of the Bret Easton Ellis movie, The Rules of Attraction, I think it's called. Rules of Attraction.
Yeah, Rules of Attraction.
Good shit.
Yeah.
Good shit. The man can write a screenplay. But this time he just
was he really screwed the pooch on this one.
That pooch is in the back alley, and you don't even know it used to be a dog. It's just a mess of gore. Nasty. This is a terrible first experience with this IP.
Like
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I told Kaylin, because we watched it together. I was like, if this has anything to do with the video game, I am honestly not excited at all. Like, I'm walking into the video game already kind of pissed.
I didn't want to do it this way. It's just that movies take a little time to watch and games take a long time to play. So like scheduling, like, oh yeah, we should lead with the movie, and then you can be playing the game all month, and then second episode later this month.
It makes perfect sense.
But scheduling wise, it makes sense. But in any other way, other Silent Hill fans are looking at me like, what the fuck? You had like an elevator pitch moment, and you had someone in the elevator, like, here's your chance, pitch your thing, and you just fart in the elevator and then don't say a word, and then they leave.
So
I'm sorry.
I
fucked it up.
I have no extraneous thoughts on this movie. But what I do have is a boatload of trivia.
Okay.
So
I don't want to talk about this shitty movie anymore. I said what I needed to say. I don't like it. A younger me did. Not really sure why.
It was garbage.
I kind of know why. Yeah. But let's talk about the fun things outside of the movie.
All right, let's
I'm ready to go in.
You want to go to a corner? We'll go to a corner.
Get into the corner and just like huddle up with a blankie and throw it over my head, because all the scary monsters are just they're coming.
I know stuff. All right. So, we're going to start off in this lovely corner with something pretty simple. We've already kind of talked about it. It took the director, Christophe Gans, 5 years to obtain the rights to make this movie.
Mm-hmm.
To get the rights for the movie, he had to send Konami a video of an interview describing how much Silent Hill meant to him, along with scenes that he filmed on his own dollar cut up, overlaid with music from the games. Like, this dude was the most fanboy of fanboys and wanted to make this movie.
Also, the fact that they wanted all that, like, hey, Y'all remember when Konami believed in things?
Yeah, right.
You remember that? You remember that? Wasn't that awesome? Wasn't that awesome? Man, he was just like, that's the problem. He was so fucking worn out by the time he actually went to film the movie. You know, it was such a slog, just a grueling experience to get the rights and prepare to film it. It's like, I don't know. I got nothing left.
It's rough stuff,
Not enough
dude.
fumes here, bud.
It's rough stuff. Apart from the song Ring of Fire by Johnny Cash, every other piece of music in this movie is directly from the game.
Whoa, wait a second. Akira Yamaoka didn't sing Ring of Fire?
I know he should have. But what's also kind of funny about that is musically, they had to have a Canadian on like the music staff, but Christophe Gans only wanted to use music from the games, so they just hired a single dude to like mix the track. That's it.
Was this filmed in Canada?
Yeah.
And so they have some regulation, like you have to hire domestic. Oh, is that what's going on? Okay. I love that. It's like, all right, you're our music guy. You're a music producer, supervisor. I want you to listen to this track and tell me how much it slaps.
Yeah.
Put it
and
in
then
the
just
movie.
do it. Do the whole thing. This is a sillier one. One of the stores visible.
Let's get silly.
Yeah, let's get silly with it for a little bit. One of the stores visible in the movie is called capital M period capital T period rooms. MT rooms.
Empty rooms. Empty rooms.
This refers to the fact that in both the film and the games, most of the structures are mere facades with nothing behind them. They're empty rooms.
Kind of like this movie.
Kind of like this movie.
Subtext. Wait, is this movie very smart? Is this a Mummy 3? Oh, you know what it was?
Don't do that.
Pyramid Head was he represents fascism.
No. No. I've got two more kind of fun ones. Until we get a little more serious. The next fun one. This film is included on Roger Ebert's most hated list, having given the film 1.5 stars.
Roger.
We get it.
I agree.
Hey, Roger, your review, I give 2 thumbs up.
Yeah. Would source that review.
Yeah, I would source that review as well.
I think I've read it because I remember many years ago, I remember him particularly frustrated by, I remember him pointing out a line of dialogue when Rose runs in on like the sacrifice scene of the cult. And she's like, don't worry, honey, it's going to be okay. Like, I remember him pulling out that line like, this movie's not even trying.
Yeah. This is wild.
Silent Hill. Silent Hill.
Silent Hill. This is a
meow. Meow.
This is maybe the wildest of the trivia I found. The version that we watched, the version that was in theaters, is the director's cut.
Oh, really?
This was the version that Christophe Gans wanted us to see. He said in an interview that the studio executives loved his version and he was never asked to cut down his film length.
You know you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
When the studio execs come and just like, no notes.
What's funny is the initial script of the film was expected to be 3.5 hours. But
fucking Christ, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But he straight up said like that was not a reasonable expectation. So they filmed it with his own director's cut. We watched the director's cut of this movie.
Okay. There's apparently a cut out there, according to Reddit, that fans put together where they just like streamline the movie and cut a bunch of stuff, and there's just like no Sean Bean. I don't want to watch it, but I don't know.
I have that.
Oh yeah,
I have.
Oh.
In the original script, there were only female characters.
That's kind of an interesting dimension.
After submitting the script, it was returned to Christophe Gans with a memo saying, "There are no men!" Exclamation mark.
That's when he has to like sort of just bullshit the studio execs a little bit. Like, yeah, there are no men in Silent Hill. Are you not fans?
Yeah.
Men don't exist in this town.
Sean Bean's character, he was only supposed to appear at the very beginning of the movie and at the very end of the movie. Instead, they expanded his role, and then they added the character of Thomas Gucci to the script as a completely original male character to toss in there. Too many women in our goddamn movies, sort of thing. Like, fuck off, man. As someone who's played the games, you'll like this one.
Okay.
The transformation effect from when the world shifts to another plane of reality, going from the real world to the fog world or to the other world, that was created exclusively for this movie. They incorporated it to the games later.
Oh. Interesting. Okay.
And now we're going to get intellectual for the last two trivias.
Let's do it.
So, how did you feel about Christabella, Alex Krieg's character, basically the main villain?
I don't know. I mean, she was fine as a sort of manic cult leader. Like, she had the look and energy.
So, she hated her character.
Okay.
She thought
you can feel her hate on screen.
Yeah, like
she's miserable.
She's miserable being her character. She said that the character itself was too evil and manipulative of a character for her to ever want to play. Like that.
Yeah, there's no
that
she's
level
a cartoon character.
That level of like there's no she has no minutia of character, right? Like there's no detail. It's just I'm a bad guy.
Yeah, she's like a vehicle for cruelty and just like slavish devotion to
and that's it.
Some supernatural force, right? Yeah.
So what's kind of fun, to prepare for her role as Christabella, she read the book The End of Days by Erna Paris, which is a book about tyranny during the Spanish Inquisition.
Oh shit. I feel it.
So she went hard.
She did. They're burning children alive.
Yeah.
Like it's rough.
Dude, I'm not kidding you. When they burned up the sheriff, I was genuinely upset.
Well, yeah, because, like, man, they just dwell on her face, and, like, she's calling for a mother, and you're watching her flesh on her face just, like, bubble and burst, and it's...
She was the only character that had personality.
Yeah. Even, like, again, we hate the cult leader, like, she's evil, like, but I don't have any joy in watching the barbed wire enter her in that way, you know?
No, not at all.
It just, everything is so, cruel.
So, the last bit, this connects. I'm pretty proud of pulling this trivia, actually. This directly connects Silent Hill to last month's yokai. And Junji Ito a little bit. I know.
Okay. Wait, are you telling me, like, we found purpose in what we spent 2 hours watching?
2 hours and 3 minutes, motherfucker. 2 hours and 3 minutes.
Well, did I skip the credits? I was fucking out.
I should have.
Is that post-credit sequence? I doubt it. I don't give a shit. I'm done.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
The ending of this movie where Alessa slaughters all the cultists with barbed wire was inspired by the Japanese erotic horror manga Arotsudochi, Legend of the Overfiend.
Oh, I've heard of this. I've never actually experienced it.
The barbed wire originally was supposed to emanate from Alessa's mouth and genitals, but it was rewritten.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, like, we talked Japanese horror last month, and apparently Old Boy was pulling hard from Japanese horror, like, influence to make this film the way it is. Which kind of makes sense,
Again,
right?
I appreciate that.
Like the barbed wire effect does seem kind of like, I hate to put it this way, but kind of hentai-ish.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Like it kind of like, that's kind of the way it is evocative, but like I didn't realize
Silent Hill has a strong I didn't
realize they were pulling directly from a piece of literature.
Yeah. And Silent Hill has a dimension, especially too. You have like the psychosexual aspect to the horror. And I appreciate that with him wanting to pull from these things. And like, I get it. Like, I'm not against these things. I'm not against the cruelty, right? Like, Silent Hill is a cruel, nightmarish place. But like I mentioned, like, if there's no weight behind it, then you just have the event and the cruelty, and like it just feels meaningless. It really is like truly nihilistic, the way the violence is used for no greater purpose, in my opinion. So like that doesn't excite me. Like what you're telling me right now, like if it were in service of something, some exploration, like okay, I'll buckle in for that. But no.
So there were a lot of other trivia bits and pieces, but they were directly related to Silent Hill 2. Which we're going to be covering. And so
you should stay away from those.
I didn't want to bring those up because a lot of those things involved, like you said, psychosexual nature. Notice I did not mention Pyramid Head a single time. I didn't mention the nurses. Like there are certain things that I didn't want to bring up because I feel like we'll probably discuss them later on this month.
Yeah. And I'm so sorry that you had to start with this. It's a terrible experience.
Yeah, it was rough. It was a rough go, man.
You are going to have... It is the remake, so I can't quite say. But you're having experience of the remake of, in my opinion, a true masterpiece and one of the greatest horror video games ever made. So, hopefully you feel a little bit better next time. But hey, we had some very negative energy today, you know?
More than we normally do.
Yeah, usually one of us feels a little bit better, but we were just both miserable.
This movie absolutely can suck my butt.
You know what they say about misery?
It loves company, baby.
Let's read some 1 out of 10 reviews from IMDb.
Love it.
Actually, why did I just ask you about the Canada thing? I guess I knew this because Muldarin on September 2nd, 2006, titled the review, Hash Horror from Canada. I've already been told. 1 out of 10. This vulgar, vile movie is typical of Canadian exploitation. Comic book, horror. Typical Canadian exploitative excess, this shit.
I'm sorry. The phrase Canadian exploitation is so fucking wild.
Honestly, there are peoples and places of the world that, yes, that's the way that you would look at Canada. As an American, it's a very funny phrase.
Yeah, no, it's very funny
those
to me.
good-natured neighbors to our north that don't deserve us.
The people that just say, oh, sorry, sort of thing. Yeah, no.
Comic book, horror, sci-fi, dark fantasy, porn, slasher. They rip off The Matrix, Stephen King, Carrie, The Others, etc. There is one bimbo that plays a cop who wears tight leather pants. So much cheap CGI animation. This movie looks cartoonish. Why did this dreck get released in theaters at all? Should have gone straight to DVD. As typical in the sci-fi horror genre, we have the villainous Christians. That is the Stephen King effect. Another example of pop culture is Poison.
So wait.
Okay, so there are some points in that I actually do agree with, but overall, yeah.
Where's the porn?
Well, you just mentioned the barbed wire.
Really?
Barbed wire.
That
I don't know.
I
do like that they capitalized porn.
Oh, did they? Awesome.
The royal porn.
So going with that, before we started recording, I asked Kaylin, I was like, hey, here's some of my thoughts about this movie. Is there anything that you think I should mention? And she goes, just like this movie, I have no thought. There is no thought that is in my brain, just like there is no thought that went into this film. And she goes, at least it was better than Blood Rain. And I go, hang on. Respectfully.
No, it's better than Blood Rain. Come on.
No, it's not. Blood Rain
yes, it is.
No,
come on.
Fuck you.
Blood Rain has no redeeming, like, even on a visual level.
Blood Rain has
Really?
Billy Zane and Meatloaf.
And manages to make them both feel soulless. It does have drunk Michael Madsen on a horse. I'll give you that.
But,
I'll give you that.
And Kaylin was like, what? Because there's no tits in this movie? And I was like, all right, that's fair.
Well, anyway, did you see the part where they ripped off the Matrix? Wasn't that just egregious?
Wait, hang on. What was that?
I don't know.
That was my next question. Like, how did we rip off the Matrix?
Oh, when the vaginal barbed wire was just like,
please, okay,
going buck wild, and they had to like bullet time dodge out of the way.
Okay, wait, hang on. How did you change topic when I said tits, but you were able to say vaginal barbed wire, and we were just supposed to go with it?
What? This next review is from Pretty Lady A04, April 22nd, 2006. 1 out of 10. This movie did not connect. Lots of spoilers.
Cool.
Spoilers. I am so lost. How did any of this connect? So what was the creepy bodies about that were kind of burning about at the beginning? Or how about the acid-spitting monster? Or even the triangle head monster? How did he connect to the story in any way? What was that about? So why was there a body in the bathroom with the barbed wire? Whose child was Sharon? What was this two-dimensional thing going on with the wife and the husband? Why did the police officer get the crap beat out of her, but she was kicking their butts before? Where are all the townspeople? I think they mean why. Why are all the townspeople dead? Wait, because the old lady was very old and she looked completely the same in the church. Can somebody help? If you have never seen or played the video games, then this movie would be a waste of time and money. If you played them,
it still is
a waste of time and money. Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to. I feel spiritually connected to this person. Like, I didn't have the sort of questions about the narrative. Like, I was gonna say could answer most of those questions, but the sense of just what, I totally share.
The sense of massive confusion, I understand. The question she has, I don't get, because they're all kind of answered if you pay attention to the film.
Yeah.
But I understand why you don't,
to be fair,
want to pay attention to the film.
It's a difficult task. Yeah.
It
is poorly told. I mean, it's convoluted and just poorly communicated.
It's a rough go.
If you know what the movie's about, it's actually not that complicated, but it's such a poor delivery mechanism for the narrative.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, agreed. 100%.
How about one from S. Dignan? April 21st, 2006. A lot of contemporary reviews here. I went into this movie with low expectations, ... 1 out of 10. I'm not going to read this whole one because it's pretty lengthy, but there is one paragraph I do want to share. Despite some awful acting at the beginning, I felt that the first 10 minutes of Rose's stay in Silent Hill were portrayed fairly well. The visuals were rich and eerie. The use of CGI was spare, and the soundtrack complemented the atmosphere very well. However, shortly thereafter, the film begins to get worse and worse. and worse. You eventually realize that every moment of the movie after the first half hour is progressively worse, so that you're essentially seeing the worst part of the movie yet over and over and over again. I felt like existential dread reading that one. It's like that scene in Office Space, like, so each like successive day is like the worst day of your life. Is this like, this is the worst day of your life? I think it's when he's talking to the hypnotist, but I'm trying to remember now. Yeah, I felt that.
But what's funny is he's not wrong.
No,
the movie only does get worse.
Yes, that's why I love it. It's perfect.
That's a good.
It's a perfect review.
That is a good review.
Every subsequent scene is the worst scene in the movie.
Yeah.
Dar-El 1, April 22nd, 2006. 1 out of 10. What a pile of pants.
Wait, can you please just say that one more time just for me?
What a pile of pants. I don't actually want to read that one. I just wanted to read the title of the review, because actually the review is not as fun as that sort of promised it might be.
Like, anytime I encounter something that's bad, I just want to call it a pile of pants.
I know. I wanted to steal that. I wanted to lock that in on our show for posterity and just have that in my back pocket. Like, what a fucking pile of pants this shit is.
Man, this is a pile of pants.
Nox Vicious, April 24th, 2006. 1 out of 10. God versus Satan movie. Spoilers.
Okay.
My mother and I were thinking this was going to be another ghost movie. We both loved them to death. And when we read the description, we thought it would be great. But it is nothing like the description. It is a very, very bad movie. Very disturbing. This is like this year's The Exorcist. It's worse than The Exorcist. This movie was more disturbing than the movie The Omen will probably be. It will. I know it. It's more about God and Satan and the Salem witch trials. People get burned alive, and you literally see the skin melting away from their face, and you see them on fire. You hear and watch a little child burn and keep on burning. You see the skin literally get ripped off a woman and thrown at a door. You see millions of spikes coming and impaling a woman and ripping her in half. Many other people too. I have seen a lot of gory movies. This one was the worst. I would rather watch Hostel than this. And that movie looks all gore and torture. This movie seriously made me want to be the best person I could be before I died. Don't see it, not worth your money. Beau, we didn't like the movie, but do you feel like this new renewed vigor to just go out there in the world and just live each day like it's your last and just be kind to those around you?
I'm going to live like
I do too.
In the words of Tim McGraw, I'm going to live like I was dying.
Yeah. Nox Vicious, we survivors of the Silent Hill movie, we have an opportunity here to just seize the day. Be the change we want to see in the world.
So, Brando, normally you are the one who supplies us with reviews.
Yeah.
I would like to give you a 10 out of 10 review.
Oh, shit. All right.
And I want your take on this. This is from Merritt the Ferret, April 30th, 2006.
Is this from IMDb?
Yeah.
Okay.
The title is 10 out of 10, Welcome Home, period. This is probably the number 3 best video game adaptation on my list.
Okay.
The movie starts out with a woman searching for her daughter in the woods, and when she finds her, she says, Silent Hill, and they decide to go on a road trip. A road trip to hell.
Road trip.
So they go off, some stuff happens, and they get split up in the deserted town of Silent Hill, which looks suspiciously like the town of Centralia near my town.
Oh, what? We got a Centralia resident here.
Then,
or nearby at least.
Then the Rose, main character, searches for answers. Some more stuff happens, which leads to Rose being handcuffed. parenthesis, I don't want to give it away, close parenthesis. And she gets lost in the school after dark, then bad things happen. She manges, M-A-N-G-E-S.
Mange is French.
Manger. She mangeait.
It's French Canadian.
Yeah. To get out alive, though, I don't want to give it away. The rest is for you to see. The movie definitely has a message, and that message is, don't be an extremist. It will just get us all messed up in the long run, especially if you're extreme for religion. See it. It's good. Signed, Alex Payne.
All right. Hey, they walked away with a moral lesson.
They also signed their first and last name at the end of their review as Merritt the Ferret. And his name was neither Merritt nor Ferret. But so the reason I pulled that one up, one is just the absolute batshit insanity that is, I don't want to spoil it, but here comes the spoils.
I'll tell you the events of the film, but I won't tell you why they're important.
Yeah. I also love the idea of, in capital letters, don't be an extremist.
I mean, that's good to walk away with that lesson.
But what do you think
Don't do that.
What do you think are his number one, number two top video game adaptations based on this?
Well, see, the thing is, like, as you said that, like, I've expressed how much I fucking hate this movie. I don't think I'd ever would have given it the number 3 spot, but my memory of it, because it was more positive, and I don't really like most video game movies, like, it might have been in my top 5 at a time. You know? I don't know. It isn't anymore, but I got that. I felt a chill run down my spine as I heard that, like, I was once like you. They like this. Don't be an extremist.
House of the Dead, maybe?
See, I don't know. I haven't seen that one. We need to do some more Uwe Boll.
I was going to say, when we do Res Evil, we should do just House of the Dead because it's also kind of in that family.
Okay. Blood Rain, because of the dead-eyed performances of all of its actors, sort of also communicates the message, don't be an extremist. Don't even be like a moderate. Don't even be a fence sitter. Just don't even
be.
The fence, what fence? Are there ideas? Just, again, to your wife's point, to the point of the infamous Blood Rain review, no thoughts or feelings. You can't be an extremist if you have no thoughts or feelings about this world. So, Blood Rain, number 1. Now, number two.
I don't know, man.
Angry Birds.
I haven't seen it by choice.
I've never experienced an Angry Bird. I've never played the game or seen the movie.
Oh, God, the game's a delight.
Okay. Yeah. Angry Birds. I don't know.
But I just
got.
I had to pull I was going through trivia on IMDb, and then I was going through trivia on other sources. But when I was on IMDb, I saw a singular 10 out of 10 review that just said "Welcome Home," and my first thought was, if Brando doesn't mention this one, I have to, because this is maybe the most like confusing 10 out of 10 review I've ever seen.
I actually did start getting 10 out of 10 reviews. I got one. It's from Niam Win. From actually it's recent, July 23rd, 2024.
Jesus.
And it was it was about them like holding a screening for this film at their school and expecting a decent turnout, but then no one turned up, so they just got drunk and watched the movie alone in their theater.
That's the only way to watch this movie.
Not recommend. Maybe, I don't know. But they thought this many years later it still slapped. So I got that one. I pulled that, like, maybe I'll read some positive ones. And then right after that, I scrolled down and it was some review, another 10 out of 10. And it was just like, it was challenging a bunch of points brought up by the negative reviews on IMDb, which one of them is, this movie isn't scary, because this movie is not scary.
No.
Like, there are no not even like cheap jump scares. There's just nothing for a long period of time. There's like there's gore and violence and creepy visuals, but it does not, it fails at the most fundamental, like sort of framework of creating a horror movie.
Yeah,
like,
nothing is horrific.
Anxiety or tension in any great way. It just gives you, like, again, empty visuals. So anyway, it was responding to the point frequently brought up in negative reviews that this movie's not scary. And it countered with, y'all just don't get it. Silent Hill was never meant to be scary. And I literally, I just closed the browser, stood up, like, put my computer to sleep, and left the room. I'm fucking done. We're just negative reviews is all I got this week. I don't have time for this.
That's fair. It's completely fair.
Y'all don't get it. Silent Hill is not supposed to be scary. It's not supposed to be scary. So actually, it's very smart. It's a very smart choice to make a not scary movie.
So, Brando, I'm going to be honest with you, man. If I wasn't doing this for the listeners, I would not be sourcing this at all. Based on this.
Yep.
This was a rough go.
Terrible movie. Terrible movie. Like I said, I think I would be compelled enough, like I would be interested enough in the visual aspect of it that I would seek out a game. And then I would be, having had that experience, like, oh, actually, I would be validated in that choice. Like, the games are wonderful.
So here's my thing. Like,
but I'm not, like I said, I'm not sourcing any more fucking Silent Hill movies. Fuck off.
Anytime I play a game, I do like to have some semblance of control or power. Like, I don't need to go through and be able to absolutely OP, like, bash people's heads in or whatever. Like, I don't need. I'm completely cool with a stealth/survival horror approach. But watching this, there was none of that. Like, this was just, there's no survival horror. It's just horror that you hope to survive. And it really felt like the director probably loved the games and tried to make a movie that, like, had the spirit of the game, but you can't make someone feel a survival horror. That's why all the Resident Evil movies have failed. Right? Like, you can't make someone feel the stress of what a survival horror game actually is, with, like, the resource management, the stress and the fear that any moment in a combat situation, it's just gonna be a game over. Like, there are times you cannot win. You have to run. Sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it is very hard to make that function well on screen.
Yeah. Like I was saying earlier, like, the translation from game to movie, you lose that. You lose the player agency and choice. And the one definitive aspect that you just brought up, right? Item management, resource management, and making choices. Like, am I gonna, this thing is coming for me. I could try and swing a pipe at it. I'm not very adept at that pipe. It's probably going to punish me. It's going to find the opening in my little animation window there and attack me. And I don't have many heals left. I could shoot my handgun, but I only have a few bullets left. I'm trying to save those for maybe a boss. I don't know what's coming my way. I have a limited inventory. I don't know. I'm going back out into the shit. Do I want to take my shotgun? But that takes 2 spots on my grid. And I kind of want to, what if I finally find the room where this key goes? And then, like, I get there and I don't have the key on me and I just have to backtrack past all the fucking hunters and lickers and shit. Or whatever they are. But see, we do kind of have that in this movie. Because here's the thing, man. You and I are mortal men. We're on the other side. We're on the tail end of the 30s. We only got so many hours left, bud. We have a finite resource inventory here. And we gave 2 of those hours, 2 hours and 3 minutes to the Silent Hill movie. And I'd given it, like my younger self had given 2 hours and 3 minutes to the Silent Hill movie. So we're over 4 hours now. And man, I feel the horror.
I was gonna say your grid looks like shit, my guy.
I got fucking blood rain in there. We got multiple Uwe bowls in my inventory. And I will die someday. But hey, until we do, we also waste time on places like Facebook.
Yeah. Hey, yeah.
And YouTube.
Christ alive. Speaking of that, we're on all of your social medias that we may or may not use that often. But Facebook, Blue Sky, Instagram, those are the big three.
Mm-hmm.
If I plug anything this episode, I'm going to go ahead and plug our Patreon because it's fucking awesome. Like, we've got good patrons. You can come there. You can listen to our regular episodes. You can listen to our Patreon episodes. Pay what you can.
Yeah, which this month. You want to hear us talk about more like video games and actual experiences we enjoyed and thought were memorable? Well, we got a roundup of some of those. And it's spooky.
It's spooky and possibly spicy. But yeah, check us out on all of those social medias at Source Not Found Podcast or Source Not Found Pod. Email us your experience with this god-awful movie at sourcenoutfoundpod@gmail.com. We love to hear.
Yeah.
What?
Sorry.
What? What?
What?
Who? We just love to hear from anybody. So bring it on.
Yeah. Are you like 2006 me or 2025 me? Which one are you?
I'm gonna bet money that 2006 you didn't have that beautiful, beautiful beard you have going on.
No.
Nah, dog.
Nah. Less beard and more bad opinions, apparently.
I don't even want to try to remember what 2006 Beau looked like because God, he was probably an asshole.
I've seen photos.
More of an asshole.
You did you still have those frosted tips, or those gone by then? Were you still frosting? 2006.
I had just refrosted in 2006, 2007.
You were out getting your tips frosted. I was going to Silent Hill in the theater and paying a full regular price admission for this experience. We were just making bad fucking choices.
Bad choices across the board.
Why do you listen to us talk? No one should care about what we have to say about anything.
But if you wanted to, you could check out our YouTube channel at Source Not Found. We have the complete backlog of episodes that are up there. We also have all of the videos of Brandon playing games that we cover on his Twitch channel, archived on YouTube. Brando, what are we doing on Twitch right now, my guy?
It's Silent September here on the show. It's Silent September over on my Twitch. We're playing more than Silent Hill, but that is a big portion of what we're doing right now. Like, I start spooky season early, you know? I started in August. I was ready to fucking go. So yeah, I've been playing a lot of Silent Hill. Some other things too, but come on by, get spooked with us. Twitch.tv/LeJuneBug. Down in the show notes, you'll find the link next to a place where, hey, if you don't want to waste time, go listen to some music by St. Coelacanth, Jesse Jelena, creator of our show theme and my Twitch theme. Great musician, great work. Go check him out.
And with that, we come to the end of the episode. And my first thought was check your toilets for this movie because you should flush it. Like, that was my first thought.
Flush it.
Because this movie
don't source it
is absolute dog shit.
Stay. I don't know if that's a very good air raid. That wasn't a very good air raid, was it? The look you're giving me makes me think it wasn't. Oh, you're frozen.
No, I'm not frozen. No, I'm not frozen. I was blown away at your.
It's like, oh, video dropped. Like you're just like we dropped the signal. We dropped you. No, it's just that's the look. That was someone wondering about their choice of co-host.
That was that was the look I was throwing towards you. Okay, hang on.
What? Hey, how would Silent Hill, would the movie been improved if my air raid was there? And that's what we need. We didn't have any fun. What we need is like you feel the tension growing. The wall starts to peel, and it's just.
So I do want to mention something. We didn't even talk about Pyramid Head just like ripping skin off somebody.
Yeah. Well, that review did. Pulled the skin off and threw it at the door.
It's a rough go.
Which just. It is rough. I didn't want to laugh at that. It's not funny, but something about the way they just described it in like just such sparse language, like they pull the skin off and throw it at the door, and like removed from context.
It is kind of funny.
Goofy.
It is kind of funny.
It's kind of funny, but it's kind of not funny.
Hey, go ahead and
it's kind of not funny.
Go ahead and check your toilets for Brandon's air raid siren.
Auga.
No, I can't do it.